onto Daf Vav, which is on Daf Gimel Amid Aleph in the pages of the Rif. Amar Rava, Meis B'Yom Tov Rishon Yitatku Bo Amamim. Rava says that if you have a corpse on the first day of Yom Tov, so then Gentiles should deal with it. B'Yom Tov Sheni, which is Midrabanan, Yisasku Bo Yisrael. So then Jews should deal with the corpse. And even for the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, which we seem to say beforehand that it's Kedusha Achas, so even so, on the Shnei Yom Tovim Shel Rosh Hashanah, the same din applies that on the first day Yisasku Bo Amamim, and on the second day Yisasku Bo Yisrael. Masha Ein Kain Beitza. But that's not the din by a Beitza, because we already said that in Babel at least, that no little bezeh, but here we do make a distinction in terms of the corpse of the first day and second day, even at the first day and second day of Rosh Hashanah. Amar Rav Zutra, I believe our Gemara has Mar Zutra, but Amar Rav Zutra, Lo Amran Ella Dishtahi. We're only dealing here with a corpse that was with a corpse that has been sitting out for a while and it can start to spoil, and that's where the Yisraelim deal with it. But if it hasn't yet, so then we would wait until after Yom Tov to deal with it. So that was Rav Zutra. Rav Ashi Amar Afal Gabdelo Ishtahe Lo Mashinanle. Even though it hadn't yet been left out and there's no danger of it starting to rot and smell, so even so, Lo Mashinanle, but we even deal with it on the second day of Yom Tov. My timer. What's the reason that Yom Tov Sheni Lugabe Meis B'chol Shavi Rabbanan? In terms of a corpse, this Yom Tov Sheni, the Rabbanan treated it as if it was treated the Yom Tov as if it's Chol. Bafilu Lamigad Le Lima, Bafilu Lamigas Le Asa, and even to cut shrouds for the mace, or even to cut hadassim to decorate the casket, so it's permitted to do this. Ravina Havayasu Kameder Rav Ashi B'Shnei Yomim Tovim Shel Rosh Hashanah. Ravina was sitting in front of Rav Ashi, and it was a 3-day Yom Tov. There was the first day of Rosh Hashanah, there was the second day of Rosh Hashanah, and afterwards was Shabbos. And Chazye the Havayatziv, and Ravina saw that Rav Ashi was upset, he was aggravated. So Amrulay Amayatzivas, how come you're upset? So Amrulay, Rav Ashi said to him, Delo Asive Erev Tavshilin, I didn't establish an Erev Tavshilin to allow me to cook from Yom Tov into Shabbos. So Amrulay, V'leisiv Mar Ha'idna, and let Master make an Erev Tavshilin now. Milo Amar Rava Meinach Adam Erev Tavshilin Yom Tov L'Chavero Umasna. Didn't Rava say that somebody can establish his Erev Tavshilin from one day to the next, meaning on Yom Tov already? When you have Yom Tov Sheni, you can make it from one day of Yom Tov to the next and make a Tanai. What does this mean, a Tanai? Well, let's say the first day is actually Yom Tov. If the first day is actually Yom Tov, then the next day is Chol, so you don't really need an Erev Tavshilin to cook from that second day of Yom Tov, which is Chol, into Shabbos, because it's entirely permitted. In terms of the second day, let's say it's Kodesh, so then you would need an Erev Tavshilin to cook from Yom Tov going into Shabbos. However, if you already set up the Erev Tavshilin on the first day, then you're fine. So because that first day was actually Chol, which was a perfectly acceptable time to establish an Erev Tavshilin. So if it's actually the first day, which is the actual Yom Tov, so then you don't need an Erev Tavshilin. And if it is, the second day is actually there, so you made it from Chol going into Yom Tov, so you're able to cook from Yom Tov going into Shabbos. So that's what he suggested. It's so big deal. It's the first day of Rosh Hashanah now, so make an Erev Tavshilin now, so that you could cook from the second day going into Shabbos. So Amar Lei, so Rav Ashi replied to Ravina, when did Rava say this in terms of a general Yom Tov Sheni Shel Goliath, a typical Yom Tov? Would he actually say this on the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, implying that this is Kedusha Achas and you shouldn't be able to do it? So Amar Lei, so he said to him, V'ha, Amrei Nahardai, the Nahardaians say, Rif Beitza. Beforehand we said that this is not true by, it's true by a corpse, that there's a distinction. But there isn't a distinction by a Beitza. And Nahardaians say that it's not true only by a corpse that there's a difference between the first day of Rosh Hashanah and the second day, but also by a Beitza. So Amar Le Rav Mordechai said to Ravina, Beferish Amar Li Mar, namely Rav Ashi, said to me explicitly that Lo Svirle Lo Ha'adai Nahardai. He doesn't hold by this opinion of the Nahardaians. Itmar, it was stated by Amoraim, a chick that was hatched on Yom Tov. You had the egg and now it hatched and you have the chick. Rav Amar Asur Shmuel v'itemer Rabbi Yochanan Amar Mutar. Rav says it's forbidden. Shmuel and some say Rabbi Yochanan say that it's permitted. Rav Amar Asur, why does Rav say it's forbidden? Muksahu, it's muksa. Shmuel v'itemer Rabbi Yochanan Amar Mutar. Why? Hoel umater asmo b'shchita. Since the way that you're going to be able to eat it is with shchita, by slaughtering it, that is a way of making itself permissible to eat. That is also going to be permitting itself in terms of the dinam of muksa. And as the Ran notes, the Rif doesn't actually say who we paskin like here, and it's somewhat problematic, in that it really depends whether Rav is arguing with Shmuel or if he's arguing with Rabbi Yochanan. And if you look back at the Gemara, it says, if Rachshana will be Rav Amar Asur Shmuel v'itemer Rabbi Yochanan Mutar. Because if Rav is arguing with Shmuel, so Hochusak Rav b'Isurei. But on the other hand, if Rav is arguing with Rabbi Yochanan in general, Rav and Rabbi Yochanan halachak Rabbi Yochanan. So look in the Ran and we have to decide how we paskin. You can't just decide this based on the Rif's citation alone. The egel shenolad b'Yom Tov. If a cat is born to a cow on Yom Tov, mutter is permitted hol umuchan agav imo. Since it's prepared, it's because of its via its mother, and it's not muksa. And that is assuming that it's established for him that it completed its months and is a fully born animal. So if it's not established to him that that's so asur, it would be forbidden. Why? Because if so, it has a status of a nefel adlel shemini, until the night of the 8th day. And we already talked about that in Maseches Shabbos. If you look in the Rif there, that's in the pages of the Rif. You look on Rif Shabbos 55a. That's basically Shabbos 136a, where he talks about this din that if it's not 8 days from the time of birth, if it was born somewhat prematurely, so then it's forbidden. However, if it is known to him that kol chadashav, that it had completed its months of development in the womb, then it is permitted. Tanya, if somebody slaughtered a hen and found inside of her completed eggs, it's permitted to eat them on Yom Tov. Again, same case. It's permitted to eat them with milk. And this is where they're not attached by connective tissue to the ovaries. But if they are attached by a connective tissue to the ovaries, it is forbidden to eat them with chalav, with milk.